And I would wonder to myself, when I go into work today, am I going to stay for an entire work day, or are they going to tell me to go home? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel for the first time. I appreciate you being here. Just to let everybody know, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm going to just talk about where I've been. I'm also going to talk about my job, because I know that a lot of people don't know exactly what I do. And since it's this huge source of stress and why I've been gone for so long, I think it's worth talking about and mentioning what I do. And to just going to give you a little bit of insight into the life of a lion and stuff like that when I'm not in front of the camera. So without further ado, I'm going to start with just talking about the crazy amount of stress that I've been under. It's been absolutely, I don't even know how to start, honestly. I guess I could say it is literally the most stress I've ever been under in my adult life. I'm almost 30 years old, 30 years old next year. I've never experienced stress like this. And I guess in that way, it is a blessing. Like, I've never experienced this kind of life event, but it was just it was the craziest amount of stress. Like, you could visibly see the impact it was having on me. My girlfriend was concerned. People were worried about me. I haven't been able to make content very well. My streaming suffered over on Twitch. It was just not, I was not in a good place when it came to the stress department. And so let me talk to you about what happened and what I do for a living. To give you the TLDR version of what it is that I do, I'm a scientist for a company that makes a lot of chemicals, be it industrial, commercial, pharmaceutical. We make a lot of chemicals. Basically, companies come to us, they're like, hey, we need this thing made. Can you do that? We find a way to do it in a way that costs the least amount of money, is the most efficient for the customer, and then we make custom chemicals for people. And so I'm a scientist for that industry, and I make sure that that gets done correctly, packaged, shipped, ready, is labeled, documented, because a lot of red tape comes into this, because we're working with some very dangerous stuff sometimes. So I am the person who helps run a team, and I make sure we do it correctly, we do it safely. Safety is number one, and I will always give my company props for that. Safety is number one. So I'm a scientist. Basically, long and short of it, I'm a nerd. I'm a nice, nerdy nerd who likes to do science and stuff, and I do enjoy the work for the most part, and it's nice. It's not my dream job. You know, stuff like this, content creation, has developed into being my dream job, but it does pay the bills and allows me to do this, be it as a hobby or someday a professional thing. But right now, it's just this is a hobby and that is work. So that's what it is. So what happened? What brought on this huge amount of stress? So much so that I've taken a surplus of number of days off streaming. I haven't made a video in Lord knows how long. What happened? So we've had a couple of bad months at work. And like I mentioned before, I run a team of people that make, package, and ship these chemicals. And we've made a ton of mistakes, almost a literal ton of mistakes. It's just absurd. And all of that, as a leader in a leadership role, as being in a leadership role, that falls back a lot on me. And that is just an absurd amount of stress that hit me all at once. I mean, there were literally times where I'd wake up in the morning and I would wonder to myself, when I go into work today, am I going to stay for an entire work day, or are they going to tell me to go home? Just go home. You're fired. I didn't know if I'd have a job every day. And that's scary with everything I got here, owning a house, car. I have animals that I care for. Like that was just an absurd amount of stress, and you can imagine how that kind of eats away at a person. And I never want to be fake with you guys, but I also never want to bring that much sadness to any of the content that I make. Like, there's a limit. I think there's a difference between being real and just being really heavy and overbearing. And that's just like I just didn't want to make content when I was in that headspace. I just couldn't do it. So what exactly? So what kind of mistakes were made? A lot of it was documentation, which I said is very important. A lot of red tape with what I do. A lot of stuff has to go right. Has to be right on paper. I mean, we have to go through that stuff 3, 4, 5, 6 times to make sure everything's perfect before we file it away. Because if somebody like the FDA or anybody else very important comes in and pulls those records, if something's wrong, we get in trouble. So there was that, but there was also a lot of physical aspects. We messed up product. There was product that we couldn't send out the door because of mistakes that we made. There was huge validation issues that we kept messing up. Basically, there's a process that we do twice a year, and when we do this, it proves to the powers that be that we can do this accurately. and we messed that up. And if we mess that up, we have to slow down. We can't do the process that we did to do that validation. We have to halt that. So that puts a huge backlog on us, and we got to catch that up once we finally fix that problem. And then when we tried to fix that problem, we had our pieces of equipment catastrophically fail, which basically means a small explosion, and it shattered some of our equipment while we were in a clean room that's supposed to be completely and perfectly aseptic, meaning it doesn't have anything nasty in it, no dirty bugs or anything. And we made it dirty during a fill that we had to get perfect because we already messed it up once. And to top it all off, we messed up a $15,000 piece of equipment on top of that one that ruptured. We were not having a good time. I have not been having a good time. Now we're on the other end of that all, and thank God it's not as devastating as I thought it would be for my career, for me as a person individually, or for my team. Yes, of course there were consequences, but they weren't nearly as drastic as everybody feared. I was talking to one of my peers, and he was like, after that rupture that I mentioned, he's one of the coolest, calmest, collected guys, and he's got so much tenure there. And we were working, just trying to help clean things up. And he's like, I don't know if I have a job tomorrow. And what does that freaking mean for me if somebody who's been there forever is worried about his job? So that's the stress that I've been under. That's what I do for a living. And I wanted to make this video just to not so much explain, but I think it's almost therapeutic to just talk about it. And that last part especially, I think, is the most important. It is behind me. And it's over, and the stress isn't completely gone, but it has dissipated. That's why I'm able to sit here and talk to you guys and wave my hands around, because I'm learning more and more as I make videos like this. I really like to get animated. And in the interim, the one benefit that did come from this, I will say, is that I have had a lot of time to think about this, about Twitch, about what I want to do with my content creation, stuff like that. What am I going to do with the future of my YouTube channel, especially with that new COPPA or I can't remember exactly what it is, but the new rules that they're rolling out for YouTube, which I'll probably do a video on just to explain about it and what it is and what it means for this channel. I've had a lot of time to think, and one of the big truths that I was able to discover, and this is very, I think, important to say out loud, is that YouTube, I need to let it be what I think it's always been, even if involuntarily or not necessarily on purpose, but it's always been a side project to streaming. Once I started streaming and that started growing and creating the community, that has been the real breadwinner, so to speak. Not actual bread. I don't make a ton of money or anything. I make you guys support me greatly, and I always appreciate that. But what I mean is, like, that's where I'm growing. That's where a lot of the success is, be it a slow, steady growth. It's still success that I don't see here on YouTube. And YouTube is a side project. It's kind of, it's definitely my, my side chick, if you will, of this content creation. So I've said it out loud, and it's something that I've been wrestling with because I started here. I started this whole thing, this whole dream started here on YouTube, and I wanted to be an awesome Let's Player. But the reality is, I think I make more of an impact here with vlogs and fun stuff like that. Review videos are popular and stuff like that. The Let's Plays really aren't, and that's fine. That's the reality, and I do well, and I think I get a lot more enjoyment out of these too. Let's Plays are a lot more stressful. I will be honest. When I sit down to play a video game and I'm streaming, it seems like it's a lot easier to connect with you guys than it is for a Let's Play, and I don't know why that is exactly, but it's always been kind of a thing. So on top of this being a side project where I'm just going to try and do one to two videos a week tops, that's probably going to be our aim. I'm going to do at least one a week. Every now and then you guys might get a bonus video out of me. Sorry, this is just a very I'm unpacking this as I record this, so I apologize for being all over the place with this. This isn't scripted or anything. This is just me trying to gather my thoughts and display them to you. But as we go forward, I think I'm going to do a lot of vlogging and a lot of fun ideas that I've had there sitting on the back burner, just kind of wasting away because I was trying to shoehorn this Let's Play thing into the YouTube channel. So there's going to be a lot of vlogs, but it's going to be at least one, maybe two every week. That'll give me time to create good quality stuff, come up with neat ideas, edit stuff, and I don't have to be rushed and things like that. So that was a huge revelation that I had thinking, that I had time to think about and prioritizing Twitch, because that's something that's built into my schedule anyway. And this has always been kind of like, oh, what do I have time for? What don't I have time for? This kind of opened things up, I feel like. So at least there's one good thing that came out of all this stress, I'd say, and I think it's gonna help the quality of the content, even though the quantity is gonna go down. But that's okay. I think I'm cool with that. I've made peace with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I can now do now that I've alleviated some of that pressure away. I'm gonna try and definitely finish the series that I've started video game wise. I definitely want to finish Life is Strange. I love that, and I love reading and talking to you guys about it, reading your guys' comments and stuff. Definitely want to finish Blair Witch. Resident Evil probably isn't gonna happen. I'm probably gonna stop uploading stuff from Twitch to YouTube, video game wise. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to unpack all this. I'm sorry. I know it's not the most entertaining video, but if you're new here, I did kind of warn you or earlier that it's not gonna be like my usual upbeat videos. But a lot more will happen and it will come. And I think because of this decision, you're gonna see a lot more upbeat, fun, creative sides of me that I haven't gotten to express because I've just been under too much stress, both self-imposed and life-imposed, through work and such. But guys, thank you so much. If you stick with me, if you stuck with me this entire time, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm back. I'm officially back. I'm gonna be on the YouTube grind again, but it's gonna be a lot less like it's been, and it's gonna be something different for sure. But I'm kind of excited about that. So thank you guys again for hanging out and checking this out. If you guys did get through this and you want to be part of this community, you can always hit that subscribe button, like this video, show support in a great way for the channel, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos. I have an awesome one that I'm proud of where I talk about really silly gamer takes. There's this awesome account on Twitter where he just looks at gamer takes and just it shows you the worst of gamer kind. And I also got this awesome review of bespoke products that I'm going to be doing a lot more of because it's a subscription box I've really enjoyed, but I want to review it more because it's just fun. And I think it actually gives people a lot of good information. So there's 2 different kinds of videos that I'll be working on more and more. So you can go check those out. But no matter what you do, remember that I love your faces. Thanks for sticking by me through all this. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.